Hey, this is Bill Gross, the LAProbateExpert.com. I specialize in LA County probate sales. And I wanted to write this short video or create the short video about what to expect in probate court in Los Angeles. Last week on Monday, the 22nd, the court reopened to basic hearings. It's not yet doing trials, but for the first time, they're holding appointment hearings and court confirmation of sales. And so I want to kind of write this based on my experience in the court last week to help prepare you for what to expect. I see real estate agents asking crazy questions. I see attorneys even unclear as to what to expect. And so hopefully this will be helpful for you. So a couple of things I would say is, first off, my favorite entrance is closed. When you get there, the second floor entrance on First Street, kind of the midway point on the second floor, right where the probate is, that entrance is closed. So you're going to enter the building either on the first floor or on the fourth floor entrances on either side of the building, but you're not going to get there on First Street anymore. And so that affects where you park. Traffic is a lot less, parking is a lot less, so waiting in line is not such an issue. Even when the court opens, because the court has staggered things so much and traffic is so far down that you don't have the 30-minute waits at the front if you're not an attorney, and the attorneys don't have the same issues with parking. The prices are the same for parking, but the wait in line is a lot less. I would caution you to be safe. There's a lot less people, but there are people hanging around that you may not be comfortable, and I'm guessing there are problems. I know personally, I was verbally assaulted leaving the court on Friday at 10:30 in the morning in plain day, and a good number of people in the Grand Park as I was leaving out the second floor. And literally there was a person there who verbally assaulted me continuously as I walked my client. So I didn't feel unsafe. There were no sheriffs in the park at the time, but I would say be careful. Keep your head up. It's different. It's not as crowded as it used to be. There's not as many of our colleagues around. Of course, when you get to the front, you want to have a mask. You need to have a mask to enter the building. There is hand sanitizer there as well, which is great, all over the place. So you can bring your own or rely on those things there. What to expect in court confirmation specifically. Last week, June 22nd to 26th, I try to track every single sale. Some you don't get the information posted. But of the 13 confirmation of sales held, 4 had overbidders, which is about 1 in 4. That's actually the average number normally. So I was thinking perhaps it'd be less investors. Doesn't appear to be the case. It looks like investors still interested in overbidding if there's value. 2 withdrawn, 1 continued, 1 denied without prejudice, 1 unknown. So of the hearings held, court did have overbidders. I will say the court does a very good job of spreading people out. For example, in Department 2, D as in David, on the 6th floor, Judge May's room holds about 50 people normally, 50 people seated. They have it spaced out where it's 1 person or 2 at the most per half row. So there's a room for maybe 13 non-staff members in the room. But if you check in with a clerk and the room's filled up, you just tell her that you're outside, what number you're on, and they seem to call people in, and that seems to work. So again, plenty of social distancing, everybody very much aware of that requirement and seems to be playing along with that. I will say that I did notice on one sale where the original buyer was looking to back out, and the probate attorney had actually recommended denial without prejudice because the attorney was trying to bring in a new buyer on the same terms. The attorney was able to get that new buyer substituted in with the consent of all the parties. And I think you can see the court is trying to move things forward where it makes sense to. So while some judges allow that and some may or may not, clearly to me, the judge was looking to, if this is going to not hurt the state in any way, let's just keep things moving. I guess the court's very well set up with distancing and room, and staff people are all with plexiglasses and all that's there. And I would say that with the less traffic and easier parking has never been a better time to go if you need to go. Now, the court's trying to discourage people from going, you don't need to be there. So attorneys and principals can come in via video. And there's a process that's now gotten much cheaper, where it's almost the same cost to park your car and travel. You can do in video now, which is great. But for those of us who are there for court business, for buying a property, there's not yet a process where you don't have to show up. The only attorneys I spoke to did require us to bring a check in person. And frankly, with so little traffic, it is able to be done very safely and comfortably. So that's my experience the first week of court reopening in Los Angeles County, particularly for court confirmation of sales. That's the area that I'm an expert in. If you have a property to sell, if you're a personal rep or attorney, you have questions, call me. We'll be more glad to help you with that. My phone number and email are on this video, I'm sure. If I can help in any way, please feel free to reach out, and have a great, successful, productive, and safe day.